it's been a long week, and you may have missed some of the news happening on your social feeds, but don't worry, because we've got the perfect guy to catch us up on all of that. It's Trent Gilbreath, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to do a little Have You Heard? Hello, Trent. How are you?
Hello, Cara. I'm so glad to be with you, and I love a good trending headline, so to chat about them with you is an honor.
Yeah, let's start it. Let's start it up. What's the first one?
All right, so the first one we all know, quarantine. Of course, it's kept us socially distanced from our loved ones, but it's gotten us a lot closer, and I'm sure this is true with you and Judy Garland, with our furry friends. That's right. We've spent a lot more time with our dogs all day at home than ever before, but you know, experts say dogs are becoming overly bonded, which means they're intensely reliant on our presence to stay calm. Dogs signal this when they can no longer self-soothe and panic after an owner leaves a room. Now, experts say it has to be addressed now, long before your dog is left home for long stretches when you actually return to the office, to avoid those doggy meltdowns. They suggest trying to separate yourself in small intervals, reintroduce them to noise, and reacquaint them to a normal schedule. Cara, has this been your experience?
Okay, listen, I appreciate that research, and I love my dog very much, but I cannot take up any more of the matter in my brain to worry about my sweet dog Judy's meltdowns. Okay, I have 3 small children, and I just don't have the bandwidth, Trent. I don't. But I do understand what they're saying.
On your plate.
Really funny memes. I don't know if you, I do. I don't know if you saw these memes that were really funny when the pandemic kind of first started, and it was like somebody looking for their dog to go on a walk, and the dog was hiding like up on top of the refrigerator and under the bed, because that's all we were doing was taking our dogs on walks. It's pretty funny. But yeah,
Is Judy loving all the activity? Is she acting any differently?
No, not really. In fact, when my mother was here visiting, she took her back home with her. Wait, maybe she is acting differently, because I think Judy needed to get out of town. She needed a little break. All right. Speaking of getting out of town, we've all been at home. So while you've been working from home, you've probably also bonded with your laptop. All right, webcams have come in handy over the last few months for necessary Zoom calls. We're using them more than ever. But if you've ever covered up your camera while it's not in use, listen up, because it could end up breaking your display. Apple is warning MacBook users that putting a sticker, Post-it note, or something else over the front of the camera impedes the computer's ability to close, and it could shatter the screen. The company says those worried about security should rely on the camera light next to the lens. You can also go to their system preferences and manually set which apps have access to the computer's built-in cameras. Interesting. I don't know if this is a load problem, but I would have to consult my tech expert, doctor. I just made him a doctor of tech. He is kind of a doctor, Sanjay Parekh, because he would probably know this. He's a very security-minded individual. Do you have something covering up your camera, Trent, at all times, or are you just footloose and fancy-free over there?
That's smart. That's smart to look to Guru Sanjay. No, I don't have the little post-it over the camera, but I will say, when Apple says, like, has a warning out there, you better listen up, because I do have scratches on my iPhone, my brand new 11, and I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I get like a screen protector? Also, why did I scrape it against like a granite slab?
Right. You have to be careful with those dicey Apple products. They're expensive. Also, sidebar, don't buy a new laptop in the next 6 months, because they're coming up with an all-new charging system, and then you'll be stuck with the old one, and you just want to wait a few more months, okay? Sanjay also told me that.
Oh my God, that's how they get us.
Go on to the next one. Yes.
Oh my God, noted though. Okay, the streaming wars, they're heating up, Cara, but this time it's with our beloved Peacock network. That's right, NBC Universal has launched the Peacock. Actually, just Peacock. That is from NBC's parent company, of course, NBC Universal. It's ad-supported, so that means it's completely free. It offers more than 13,000 hours of brand new, as well as vintage TV shows. Now, of course, there are also originals, including Brave New World. I saw Demi Moore's interview with Jimmy Fallon. She's in that. And, of course, our NBC favorites are standbys like The Office, 30 Rock, This Is Us. All those classics are streaming on Peacock. Are you going to check it out, Cara?
I will check it out because I think there's been such a trend to binge all the 80s, 90s, early 2000s sitcoms. So that's a good place to do it. I'm glad they're putting all the content in one place. Lots of hubbub, though, on the internet about Peacock. So check it out if you want to if you want to read more. Have you been? It's been getting a lot of buzz.
It has been getting a lot of buzz. I love that it's free, and I think I'm going to stream, of course, the Today Show gang like all day today. That's exciting for me.
I love it. You're exciting to me, my friend. Thank you so much for keeping us up to date on the headlines and keeping us connected online. You do it so well. We love having you on the show. All right. Thanks, Trent. See you later. Thanks, my friend. All right. We love when you join in on the conversation. That's what this segment's about. That's why we post all the time on digital platforms. And by we, I mean Trent Gilbreath. So head to our Land & Company Facebook page to chime in on these and more. Be our friend on Facebook, on all the social media platforms. All right, a little more Land & Company to come right after this break.